Welcome, students. It's the second topic of our lesson, that's rise of nationalism in Europe. In the previous topic, we discussed about the major change during the French Revolution. We discussed about the power transfer from monarch to the common people. New flag was introduced. The French became the national language. The new national anthem composed and oath taken. A state general elected by the people rename it as National Assembly. Internal customs and duties were removed. National ideas taken abroad by the French army. Napoleon Code of 1804 or a civil code was introduced, established equality before law, right to property, feudal system was abolished, peasants were freed from the serfdom, guild restrictions were removed, transport and communication were improved. In that chapter, we also discussed the drawbacks of the Napoleon Code. The first drawback was the increased tax. The second drawback of the Napoleon Code was the censorship were imposed and forced to join the French army. Today our topic is the making of nationalism in Europe. In this topic we will discuss about how does the concept of nationalism emerge in Europe, especially in France. The France was divided into the three classes: autocracy class, middle class, and the peasantry class. It was the autocracy class who have the privileges of all the resources, land owning class, speaking French language. It was a small group. The family was connected by the marriages. Students, you have to remember here that the autocracy class had connected their have connections, or you can say they have marriage ties with the other monarchies of European countries. So we can say the autocracy class was unite in common way of life. So they have something common in which is the marriage, and which connected them, and they tend to take the benefit of it and exploit the lower section of the society. The peasantry was, it was they were in majority in the population. They were looking after the autocracy class, so they were providing the services to the autocracy class. So they were under the privileges. They were not enjoying the privileges. In fact, they were not paying the wages as per their work. The third section of the society was the middle class. Due to the rise in industrialization, the middle class became a prosperous. They own industries, they were businessmen, they were professional doctors, lawyers, and there was a one kind of a change in them. So that change was a reason and rationality. So with coming of so much of a money, so these middle class people educate their children, they educate the new generations. सो उसकी वजह से क्या हो गया, जो नई जनरेशन आने वाली थी, इट वॉज नाउ अपोजिंग द प्रिविलेजेस ऑफ द ऑटोक्रेसी. अब इन्होंने एक तरह से वो आवाज़ उठाई. दे सेड टू देम दैट वी आर बीइंग एक्सप्लॉयटेड, you have exploited us from the generations. Now we will not tolerate this, because we have got the money now, we have got the resources also, and we have got the education also. So your autocracy will not run on us. It will not. अब आपकी जो ये जुल्म, ये बर्बरियत है, ये हम पे नहीं चलेगी. So many changes happen to the society. As the middle class too, where they were demanding the nation state, a nation state via the power should be centralized. The Ernestists also said that the French should pose a nation state. फ्रांस में एक नेशन स्टेट होनी चाहिए जहाँ के लोग खुद अपने रिप्रेजेंटेटिव चुने, या जहाँ के लोग को राइट हो कि वो एक ऐसा लीडर चुने, एक ऐसा रिप्रेजेंटेटिव चुने कि जो उनके प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व करे, उनकी जो डिमांड्स है उनको पूरा करे. तो इट वाज अ कंसेप्ट ऑफ अ अर्नेस्ट रेनन, जो कि मिडिल क्लास पीपल थे, वो दो चीज़ें चाहते थे. दे केम अप विद टू आइडियाज. द फर्स्ट आइडिया वाज द नेशन स्टेट. द सेकंड was one culture, language, tradition, हिस्ट्री, पीपल लिविंग टुगेदर. तो ये चाहते थे कि एक कल्चर हो, एक ही लैंग्वेज हो, एक ही ट्रेडिशन हो, और सब एक जैसे हो, और सबको जो भी राइट्स होंगे, दे शुड मतलब वो क्या, दे शुड बी ग्रांटेड विद द राइट्स, फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन, हर एक राइट्स उनके पास हो जैसे हाई क्लास सोसाइटी के पास. सो देयर इमर्ज अ थर्ड, it was another ideology. The people, the middle class, especially the middle class people, follow the liberal ideology. You can say the liberal nationalism. अब जो लिबरलिज्म था वो एक लैटिन वर्ड से निकला था, दैट मीन लिव फ्री. ये चाहते थे फ्रीडम फ्रॉम, हर एक चीज़ से फ्रीडम चाहते, फ्रीडम फ्रॉम द इंडिया, मतलब जो ये ऑटोक्रेट रूल था उससे भी इंडिविजुअलिटी चाहते थे. They want freedom of individuality, equality before law, government with the people's agreement, end of autocratic rule and clerical privileges, constitutional and representative government. So ये कुछ ऐसी डिमांड्स थी लिबरल आइडियोलॉजी के जो लोग थे. वो चाहते थे कि जो सोसाइटी हो वो फ्री हो, हर एक के पास अपने अपने राइट्स हो. But there was a problem. The men above the 21 were allowed to vote, and those who possess the property, जिनके पास प्रॉपर्टी थी, उनको वोट दिया जाता था. And there was a state to state trade restrictions, or you can say the trade barriers, और इंटरनल जो कस्टम्स एंड ड्यूटीज थी वो भी हाई थी. तो इट वॉज अ वेरी मच प्रॉब्लमेटिक फॉर द बिजनेस पर्सन एंड द मर्चेंट्स. So they demand the abolition trade barriers and reduce the number of currencies. उस टाइम पे उन्होंने ये कहा था कि जो करेंसीज है, जो उन्होंने मतलब ये एक तरह से आवाज़ उठाई, उसके रिजल्ट में के नतीजे में जो करेंसीज थी वो 30 से 2 हो गई. In 1815 the Battle of Waterloo happened. In that battle Napoleon was defeated by ब्रिटिश, रशिया, प्रुशिया और ऑस्ट्रिया. अब यहाँ पे देखो, यहाँ पे एक वैक्यूम सा क्रिएट हो गया, बिकॉज नोबडी वाज ऑन द, द पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम वाज एम्प्टी. एक तरह से एक स्पेस बन गई थी, और इसकी वजह से राइज हो गया एक नई गवर्नमेंट, एक नई आइडियोलॉजी जिसको हम कहेंगे. इट वाज कंजर्वेटिव्स, एंड इंशाल्लाह वी विल डिस्कस दिस इज़ आवर नेक्स्ट टॉपिक अबाउट द कंजर्वेटिव्स. तो हम ये एक नए टॉपिक से स्टार्ट करेंगे इंशाल्लाह. तब तक खुदा हाफिज़.